This morning, or our exploration was quite profound for me, and I went for a walk at lunchtime along the water, and just being peace and the waves going through me, and it was just beautiful. And then I sat down and heard all the noises, the sounds, and then people walked by, and I suddenly noticed in this body a contraction, and I noticed that, and I recognized that as something so known in this body, this contraction, and I was kind of seeing it, and like, okay, just be, stay here and invite this contraction, or just kind of say yes to it, and there was moments of melting with, there was no contraction, and then something else happens, and the contraction came again, and it was just so. I feel like that's the key for me. These contractions that happen, and noticing it, and kind of inviting it, not kind of, I don't want it, just like invite it and flows through it, just something like that. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Notice it, and then invite it. Invite it to come and make its home in your being, in the presence of awareness. Just offer this contraction, this knot that you feel in the body. Just offer it to this warm bath of awareness, and just leave it there, soaking. If you find that you're impatient with it, that impatience is just another little contraction, another little I don't like. Yeah, so that very impatience itself is the expression in thought of one such contraction. So just don't be very careful not to touch the contraction. You take this very gentle, loving approach with it. You notice it, that's good. You invite it to come in, and then when it comes in, you let it feel that it is just soaking in you. It's like getting into a warm bath. You leave this tension, this knot of me in the body. You just leave it soaking in the presence of awareness. Let awareness take care of it. And let it take as long as it takes. It's actually not one contraction. The separate self is a network of contractions. In fact, the separate self is laid down in layers of contraction in the body, each one a little bit more subtle than the other. So just let the whole network of this layer of contractions, just leave the whole thing soaking. And as it soaks, the top layer will gradually dissolve, but that will reveal a layer underneath, which is a little less easy to name. It'll be a little less formed than the top layer, which you might be able to identify as anxiety or anger. But then when that has evaporated, the layer underneath is subtler. You'll find it more difficult to give it a name. You may call it just a sort of ancient feeling of sorrow that has accompanied me most of my life. And then it takes a while for that to come up. And then underneath that, There's this nameless, almost formless sense of something is missing. So just let, it's not necessary to name them, just let them come up, layer after layer after layer, but don't touch them. It's not necessary to name them, don't touch them, just leave them soaking. And awareness will take care of them in its own time. And it takes time. Relatively speaking, of course, it takes time. These habits that we're talking about that have been imprinted on the body, embedded in the body. The body is gradually being washed clean of them. Awareness is washing the body clean of the separate me feeling. If you expect it to happen overnight, you'll be disappointed, you'll feel you're a failure, and this will be yet one more, for instance, the feeling of being a failure. It's another of these layers. So don't have expectations of a time in the future when there are going to be no contractions. Feel that what needs to be accomplished has already been accomplished. I am this open, empty, luminous presence of awareness. And just submit all of your experience to that and allow it to gradually be dissolved in that and by that.